I'll run it for an hour.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sounds good. Chief and Tatanka Show, coming to you live from Fort Collins, Colorado.
That was really loud.
That was loud. I like it.
It was pretty loud.
How you doing?
I'm awake now.
You're awake. You ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
That might be the new intro.
That was like some Nature Boy shit. Why is it I always devolve to Rick the Flair?
Every fucking time.
Every episode.
It's like 4 episodes we've talked about wrestling at some point.
I don't even talk about wrestling this much.
I don't even watch wrestling. I know it exists.
Wrestling.
What have you been up to? It's been a minute since we've been here because somebody, not mentioning names, Tatanka, got a little case of the larynge and sounded like this for 2 straight weeks.
And it came with the southern accent too?
Yeah.
Although I feel like that's more of an Appalachian accent.
Appalachia?
Yeah, exactly.
Got to get the ch in there. The Appalachia.
Yeah. Wow, that was really loud. I feel like I'm shell-shocked.
It's because we moved our whole arrangement. You're used to being over here, and now I'm like yelling in your fucking ear.
Whoa. This setup is a little different. But,
it is different. I
like it. But I like it. You know, and feel free to let us know if you hate it or like it or Wow, that actually looks pretty comfy.
It's gonna fucking fall. That's what's gonna happen.
Whoa, yeah, that is a little... Hey, let's talk about our Liquid Death.
Oh, Liquid Death.
Our Liquid Alive.
Liquid squeezed to death. The flavoring sparkling water that murders your thirst. That tastes like orange, you say?
Yeah, it's got a little bit of a citrus taste to it. It's,
I'm gonna do it.
Okay, so
I like it.
This is what I think it tastes like. If you've ever had orange Gatorade, right now. Oh my god, it was only a matter of time before we got something ridiculous.
I was gonna break this fucking chair. Did I not?
Yeah. Yeah. But how is it broke when we're recording? What is the odds of that? What are the odds of that?
English much?
No.
I don't either. I'm crying. I was laughing so hard I fogged up the old pit wipes.
Yeah, you got some like Liquid Death on your beard. You look a little feral right now.
Oh my god. Let's clean it up, huh? Now that I have a one-armed fucking chair. What happened here?
That was wild. You like ripped that thing off.
Fuck your armchair.
Is that the best $20 you've spent on studio equipment so far? Probably.
Oh, look, there's a chair on Marketplace for $20. It's a gaming chair. Let me go grab that real quick.
Oh, Jesus.
Yoink.
Whoa, I can't wait to go back and watch
this. We make short clips. We should make that a short clip.
I know. God, that was great.
Anyways, where were we? Where are we? What are we doing? Who are you?
Yeah, Chief.
Tatanka. Liquid Death. Orange. It tastes like Tang, watered down.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like Gatorade, if you leave too much like ice cubes in it, and then you drink it, it's like watered down.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's not like super sweet or anything, and really that's why I like these Liquid Deaths because
it's flavor. It's water that isn't water because it has some flavor, which appeals to me because I hate water. It's terrible.
Do you really hate water?
I don't. I'm not.
What about like a frosty like ice, a damn like cup of ice, bunch of ice cubes and...
No, then I absolutely hate it. I'd prefer to like room temperature.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like cold water. Ain't it for me?
Really?
No.
Interesting.
I mean, if we're riding Devilstone, the leg from Grable to Cody, I want some ice water now.
Sure. Because
my balls are about to melt down my leg. But otherwise, no, room temp water's good.
It does get outrageously hot.
Yeah.
Outrageously hot.
That's where I grew up, bro.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, you're from Wyoming. It's always cold there. No.
Actually, we're closer to the sun than you probably are.
Yeah. So
stand by.
Thanks for not knowing anything. Appreciate that.
Oh my god.
I promise I don't practice.
Are you sure you didn't practice this bit with the chair? I mean, we didn't practice the spider bit, but that was like That was way better.
That was way better than a spider bit.
Oh my god! Didn't even require a spider.
What are we doing?
Okay, what are we doing? All right. Well,
you started school again because you're a professional student.
Yeah, I mean, basically,
that's what it is.
Right. Okay. So right. I did start my MBA program again. I got in there today. I got logged in, did my introduction, started looking through the syllabus and all these things. Right. And I'm like looking at the research papers that are due, and I'm like, okay, research papers, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know how to do those. Oh, cool. Like I know how to do this stuff.
Yeah.
So it feels good, but it's also it definitely seems like it's more focused. The curriculum, and it's definitely like I would say the content is more dense.
So okay, obviously I have a bachelor's degree. I did go to college. It's been a minute.
Yeah, you're an educated man.
Yeah. What are you learning? It's an MBA, so it's a business. It's like I got my bachelor's in business because I didn't know what the fuck to pick, but on steroids. Because you actually want to run a business or own a business, help businesses function.
Right. Or
my brother-in-law just graduated with an MBA.
Nice. Yeah. Where did?
I'm gonna say Liberty, but I might be wrong.
Nice.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what I know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Okay. So, okay. So an MBA, just to cover it, I'm gonna go over some stuff I know you already know. So it's a graduate degree. So it's a master's degree, right? Tracking. So really, it's an advanced degree.
Yeah,
right.
It's advanced on a bachelor's.
Right, more advanced than a bachelor's. Right, correct. And so a lot of graduate schools and the way they're set up is in order to get a graduate degree, you have to have some kind of like work experience in that field or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like for the most part, like you can't just roll in and get a master's. Like you can, like I mean, really. Doesn't matter anymore. Probably not. I think in most circumstances you can roll in after you get your undergraduate, but some graduate schools do require that you have some sort of like experience in the field. You've been out in the world, you know what's what, and so the class is supposed to move very quickly. It's not supposed to be about
you're not going through your intros and your 101s and.
Right.
There are 1,000 ones at Wyoming.
Right. Like we're not talking about, the 3 different types of business.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we're talking about.
I didn't even know there's 3 different types of business.
Yeah, like sole proprietorship, right? Like incorporated.
Oh, is there 3?
Yeah, there's 3, ladies and gentlemen. So really that's what it's about. But what's interesting is I do have to pick a specialization for business.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so since I have a HR business degree, I could focus on HR for my MBA, but I don't want to do that because I'm trying to round myself out in the business world with my education. And so like one area that I've been lacking is I don't have a lot of formal education in like, say finance or accounting or marketing. Now the MBA is going to take me and it's going to bring me up to speed on those skills and those competencies to at least a working elevated knowledge, even though that's not my specialization.
Okay.
So, and then my specialization, I have to write in order to graduate from my MBA school. I have to write basically a thesis, right? And so I have to make some sort of like scientific thesis statement, and I have to use empirical research to make a case for that, right?
Okay.
And then from there, you submit it, and then it goes to like an academic.
Gets reviewed.
Right. And then they're like, oh, this doesn't make sense.
They beat the tar out of it, make you correct it.
Right.
Okay.
Send it back. And then once that's done, somehow you have made an impact to that field that you're studying, right? And so that's how you get your graduate degree. Now, getting a graduate degree opens the doors for a lot of other things,
that's
right?
You go for doctorates.
I could go for a PhD doctorate. I could apply to another grad school. If I stick with education, then I could maybe get a different master's in education, which, would help line me up to take and teach different types of courses.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thanks for asking. That's kind of what it's about.
I've thought about, I think I want to go back to school online. Mm-hmm. Not because of something I want to do professionally, but more because I'm interested as a hobbyist.
Yeah.
Boston University has genealogy certificates and family histories.
Yeah.
So, but
That's cool.
That's only money that I don't have, but maybe someday.
No, I mean, but it does take like, I think as you get older, especially you find this that it does take people that are interested in continuing to learn, and they have some kind of passion or something to kind of push them and say like, yeah, I want to learn this information, which I do, right? Like, like I do want to, say that my level of business is at the master's level,
right?
Well,
like in my case, not to steal your thunder, but like I don't want to change careers, but I'm interested and I want to know more about it, and just YouTubing and reading books and getting it for me. I want somebody that is actually trained to teach me.
Right.
So
yeah, that would be cool.
That would be cool. And you're going, it's Colorado State?
Yeah, it's Colorado State University, the global campus.
You're a sheep.
Yeah. So
go Pokes.
Which is funny because they're actually so they're part of CSU. Right, but their office is in, I think, Aurora.
It's the global campus.
Yeah, so as the global campus, but like their staff is from all over the world and whatever, right? But they're headquartered here in Colorado.
Yeah,
and they're like an extension, or that's probably not the right term, and I hope nobody beats me up about this. But there is some kind of relationship. Like they're not the same, CSU and CSU Global.
Oh, they're the same,
right? But they're
the same in name.
There you go. Yeah. Perfect.
So, besides starting school, what have you been up to for? Has it been 3 weeks now? 2 weeks? Took a break.
Yeah, we just take a break. It was busy.
Couldn't talk.
Yeah, Tatanka couldn't talk. I got pretty busy with some of the nonprofit stuff I do. We had a big event that came up, and there's a lot of work to do for that. It was like all weekend. It was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday deal, and it was great.
It was a good event too.
Yeah, it was a good event.
It was a good event. I liked it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed being there.
Yeah, me too.
I thought it was well produced and well managed.
Yeah. Thanks for saying that. Yeah. A lot really went into that, but yeah, it just we pulled it off well, I think, and really a bunch of our veterans.
And had a good turnout too. Would you ever get a final count from the swipes? Probably 150 people there.
Plus.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a pretty large event. But yeah, successful for sure, and really, I mean, it's great to see other veterans, and I mean, even for me, seeing other Navy folk, especially in bumfuck Colorado.
We're not bumfuck. You ever been to Wyoming?
Yeah.
You ever been to North Dakota?
No, I don't actually. Well, I think I've been through there.
Yeah, so I just got back from North Dakota. Let's talk about bumfuck. Ain't shit here. Yeah. Nothing.
Potatoes?
Grass. Like grass. And a lot of it.
What about jerky?
Grass.
What about corn?
Nope, grass. There might have been some jerky there, but it was still in a live form.
Alive form. Oh, man.
Hadn't been processed yet.
Oh, my God.
A lot of grass.
Yeah, so I've been busy with that shit, but you've been...
Trucking.
Yeah, you've been
driving
trucking,
things.
Man. Yeah.
Driving the hydro valves.
Which is crazy.
It is crazy, especially considering the world's current politics, that I'm doing anything at all. But if the election goes a certain way this year, you'll never see me ever again. We'll be doing this. I'll be on my phone doing shows with you.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Yeah.
Who is that? Do you hear that?
Yeah.
It's a big dog.
Yeah, he's a Great Dane.
That's why. He's got some boss in his bark.
Yeah, he's bigger than me. Even
again,
on all four legs. Yeah.
Why don't you show me that? No, I'm kidding.
I got a picture of this guy.
Yeah.
Wait, maybe I sent it to you already. He's like, yeah, because I went over there. They needed somebody to keep an eye on their dogs while they were working, and somebody came in to clean the carpets. And I was just hanging out with these dogs, and it's hilarious to me because they're twice my size almost.
My dog's bigger than you.
Yeah,
she's almost 150 pounds.
What?
Yeah.
That's how big she is?
She's huge.
Bro, that is crazy.
You saw that picture of the dog laying on me, right?
I couldn't even pick that dog up if I tried.
I can barely pick her up. I can pick her up, but if she starts kicking around, I'm going to lose you.
That's a big dog, dude.
She's a beast.
Holy hell.
I love it. I love the big dogs.
I mean, I feel like that's almost big enough you could probably ride that dog.
Evelyn can.
Yeah, that's cool.
Put a saddle on that dog and Evelyn could ride her.
Oh my god, that's wild. What am I showing you again?
The Great Dane.
Oh, the Great Dane picture. All right. Let's look. Oh wait, I'm glad I found my glasses here.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, these are my glasses.
What?
I'm not good at wearing them.
Wow, that is incredible. I like that.
These are my Ben Franklin glasses.
I want to see those when you're done.
Okay, you got it.
Stretch them out around my fat head.
Oh man! All right, so you've been driving. I've been doing school and some motorcycle type things, veteran things.
We're getting close to summer, so the motorcycles are going to come back into play.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully in a great big way, because I miss the motorcycle. I rode here today.
Yeah, and
great.
How did that feel?
So it was like perfect weather. I made a bad decision and I rode with no helmet. I'm going to get yelled at later, but I kind of needed it.
Yeah,
I just needed it.
Yeah, I play that game sometimes. Yeah, and I also get yelled at.
I want to say like 98% of the time I wear a helmet, but some days I'm just like, I need some air.
Yep. No, I definitely feel that.
And I'm pretty specific about the routes that I choose when I don't wear a helmet. Like I'm nowhere near the interstate. I took Highway 1 over to college.
Yeah.
That was it.
Right.
So basically Wellington to Fort Collins on Highway 1 and then down College. I mean, anything can happen anywhere, but
no, and I get that for sure, but I mean, like you said,
I'm not going down the interstate with no helmet.
That's right. Oh, stupid. For sure. Yeah, I'm not.
And I'm not going down the highway at 75 or 80 miles an hour with no helmet. Right. But kicking down Highway 1 at 55 doesn't bother me.
Right, but if I'm going to go down the street to like get a cigar or something, like it might not make it out of my head. Yeah. Oh man, I can't find this damn picture.
That's
man.
all right.
No, it's not. He's huge. You have to see him. He got up on the this chair, and he was sitting there like a person, but he was,
6 foot tall.
Yeah,
yeah,
and too big for the chair.
I believe that.
Meant for humans. Here's this.
Let's see.
Yeah,
see how these are unbelievably thin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're blind as fuck.
You look like one of our forefathers.
Do I?
Yes.
I don't have any good history memorized right now.
Either that or Peter Griffin with a beard.
I was like, what is he going to say? What is he going to say? Stomps out laughter.
Yes. Fuck you. I love it.
And also, fuck you too.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers. So you want to know some wild shit that I just fucking learned about yesterday?
Yeah.
Should we dive into this?
Yeah, let's dive into this.
So,
do I need my glasses for this?
No. I'm not going to show you anything. So, I'm about to have another baby.
Yes.
Like 2 weeks from now, right?
Oh, it's 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
That's like 10 days,
yeah.
which is basically tomorrow. Wait,
military math.
Yeah, this goes back to where did you learn your math? Navy math class?
All right, we're moving out at 1400. Be there in formation at 600. What?
Wait a second.
I don't understand why.
Yeah. Piggyback off the ensign.
Yep.
Anyway.
He wants us there at 1400, so we got to make sure we're early. So be there at 1:30. Oh, first sergeant says we got to be there at 1:30. Make sure we're there at noon. What?
Yeah, no, I'll be there right before this shit starts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'll be.
That's fucking funny. Anyways, so we're about to have a baby in 2 weeks, and we're driving to North Dakota. The trucks, there's 4 trucks we convoyed, and we're talking about me having the baby, and the boss asked me, he's like, so you're going to take a week off. When's that going to start? And I'm like, well, I literally don't know. But when the baby's born, I'm going to take a week off.
Right.
It might be the 27th, might be the 29th, might be the 1st. I don't really know. I'll let you know. Well, you'll know when I know. And one of our new guys pipes up and says something about like, oh, you're not going to get your 12 weeks off? And I cracked a joke. I'm like, what do you think this is? Fucking Canada? And then the youngest guy goes, no, that's real. You can take 12 weeks of paid leave. And I was like, what? So turns out in Colorado, this is new this year. It got voted on, I think, in 2022. I had to look it up because I didn't fucking remember it on a ballot. It's called Colorado FAMLI, FAMLI.
Mm-hmm.
And it allows for any individual employed, there's some, check marks you got to hit. But if you're employed in the state of Colorado, you're eligible for 12 weeks of paid leave for birth of a child, if you get sick or injured and you need to recover, if your spouse or children or family members are sick and need care, if a family member is deploying with the military and you need time to prepare for that. And there was one or two other things that you could use this for. And I have conflicting thoughts about this, because the way that it works is you as the employee pays, it gets taxed off your income. Like I get paid weekly, right. So every week a portion of that gets taxed and goes into this family pot, and it's matched 50-50. My employer also pays into this family pot. Okay. That's how it works. And then you apply through the state and you get approved, and then they cut you a check if you miss a period of time for work. But that got me going down the road of like, okay, so you're taxing money off of money I've earned, 50%, and then my employer 50%. I got to looking at, based off what my income is, how much would they pay me for a week for 12, for 12 weeks? And I'm in the highest bracket, which is $1,400. I'm like, okay, $1,400, 12 weeks, $16,800, 50% of which is $8,200. That's already fucking mine. Mm-hmm. Am I wrong?
So, all right, hang on one second, because I have some thoughts on this. Let me grab a piece of scratch paper.
Okay.
All right. So, okay.
They help me with this.
Okay. So,
Mr. MBA.
Okay. So, first of all, Colorado is different than a lot of states in that, well, for a lot of reasons.
We're not going to dive down that one.
Right. But and Colorado being one of the first that legalized medical marijuana was able to, because when the Constitution of the state was developed in the late 1800s, there was a demand and a want by the constituents and by the politicians at the time to make a constitution that was not easily amendable, but like there wasn't as many roadblocks and bureaucracy involved, right? And this was all in I want to say in the wake of like the Civil War and Reconstruction, and the United States made
30 years after Reconstruction, I believe, is when Colorado became a state.
Right.
Or 30 years after the Civil War, I mean. 1890.
Yeah, 1891. Is that right? Or is it 1870? Yeah, double check our dates on that. But anyway, what I'm getting into here is
1876.
Okay, 1876.
So it was even closer after the Civil War.
1876. Yeah,
10 years.
Yeah, so like 10 years, right? 11ish, whatever. So anyway, right, and I'll say, and you're somebody who enjoys history and is a history guy a lot, or whatever. What I'm getting at is, you remember there's all kinds of silly decisions that were made by America during Reconstruction, right? But anyway, we don't have to go down this long thing about that. But the whole thing is when the Constitution of Colorado was drafted, it was designed so that things could be changed, that the constituents over time could change things that they needed to, right? Mm-hmm. And so, and that was part of the reason why cannabis legalization was able to be put into place here in Colorado, is because it is one of the states where the constitutions are easier to work with and to change. So with that being said, things like this, I feel like, get voted in our state more often than other states.
Right.
So,
okay. That makes sense.
And I think a lot of that has to do with what's called like Tabor. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, that's where the Tabor, they have to give us the surplus of money back.
Right, which came from that whole, okay, well, the state of Colorado is going to be, more progressive, and Colorado was, even back then, it was a progressive territory, right? I mean, talk about the Wild West and all that stuff, but anyway, so I think that's part of that. Now, with that being said, the other thing I would say is there was another piece of basically like it was a guidance that covered employment. during like COVID, right? And so it was called the Healthy Families and Workers Act. You know what I'm saying?
I think I read it.
Or maybe it's the
I saw it when I was reading.
Healthy, whatever. So basically what it said was that each company that had an employee at it, if they missed time due to having to quarantine, due to positive test result, then some of that work they missed, the company had to pay for their time. Right?
I remember. I haven't read it, but I remember that. I remember that.
Oh man, let me tell you, and so we had to pivot. Where I was working at the time, I had to pivot, and we had to figure out how to calculate this, make sure we're in compliance, and whatever. And so, I think that anytime something like that happens, or like for instance this, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like it's only natural to feel like maybe it's a bit of an overreach on the government's part.
And that's this is part of my internal conflict I was having yesterday. Is 23-year-old Wyoming Ronald Reagan Republican Tatanka is like, how dare the state tell anybody how to run their business? How dare they? Now, 39-year-old veteran, maybe perhaps a little libertarian-leaning Tatanka is like, I've been working for 22 years now.
Right.
In some capacity. Mm-hmm. 22 years. And if ever I have wanted to take a vacation or wanted to take a couple days off or something, it's been, with the exception of one job, it's been unpaid. Mm-hmm. Or I have to save double ahead of time to pay for the vacation, but then also pay for my damn bills for the week, right? Mm-hmm. I have never been able to be like, I'm going to go take a vacation and had zero stress because bills are paid. Like, I'm good. Like, I don't have to think about this. I've only worked in one job where the number of hours I worked, I accrued PTO, mm-hmm. and then could take that and get paid, get a check for the week, even though I wasn't there. And I had to beg for that to happen. I worked at this place for 6 years. It was a brand new company. And I had to like constantly needle, like, hey, can we have this? Hey, can we have this? Hey, can we have this? And finally got put in place. And then I was like, I left because I didn't. Different reason.
Yeah.
But so like in 22 years, I have never had a fully stress-free vacation. Or when Evelyn was born, it was COVID. So I had to take 2 weeks off before she was born to quarantine so I could go to the hospital for her to be born. And then I got 1 week off that employer was nice enough to just pay me for because it was a newborn baby. So that's a different, not included in this conversation. Right. But like in 22 years, it's always been stressful to take time off of work. And so now, you mean if I get sick or if I get hurt, or in this case, we're having a child, I can take 12 weeks, 3 months, and my bills are still paid. That's pretty fucking cool. But then also, like I started this conversation with, that's already my money. Right. That's already my money. 50% of it, at least. Right. The employer matches 50%. But then, so that opens more questions, which I found some answers to this morning. If I say do take 12 weeks off and get paid out that $16,800,
right?
Do I get taxed again? Because it's already, like, they already pulled it from my money once. Are they going to tax it again? Colorado will not, but it gets reported to the feds as unemployment insurance. So, what the fuck there? Then my other question is, okay, if I don't use this, if I work an entire year and never claim into this 12 weeks for sick or other reasons, is it part of my fucking refund? Or does it go into this magical pot where Joe Schmo at fucking company X decides that he needs 12 weeks off because his mom's sick? Did my money that got taken from my check just go fucking pay for his leave?
Right.
And that triggers that we're going to fucking see a mad Tatanka over that. Yeah.
Okay. No, okay, so there's a lot to this, obviously.
It's very complex.
It's very complex. And there was some complexities to that Healthy Family Workers Act, as well. Like what do you pay them at what rate, like, etc. So there's definitely some complexities to kind of figure it out or whatever. So I'm sure it's like not cut and dry. It's not easy. They just implemented it. I'm sure like there might be some things that need to be changed about it or whatever. But okay, so I think central to this idea though is I don't want to say like redistribution of wealth per se, but I think it's along the same vein. I think
it's knocking on the door.
Right. It's like
you're taking money that I earned and you're giving it to somebody else because I didn't claim it.
Right.
Or didn't need it.
So let's think about it this way, right? So
I didn't need it.
So, right. So that's what I'm about to get into, right? So you're talking about oh my god, dude. All right.
Red Scare Part 9.
No, dude, like, I agree with you. It's just, it's like, it is frustrating. And what you just said just now was, what if you don't even need it, right? Like,
what if I don't need it, but it was my money?
Right.
Part of it.
But like, look at it from my perspective. I'm not having more. I can't have more kids.
Right.
So why am I paying in this if I'm never gonna?
Well, I mean,
I guess
covers
there's
injuries.
12 weeks for injuries.
If you
sure.
if you fucking fillet your kidney or liver or whatever,
right,
and you need recovery time because you have a very manual job, you could use it then, which is great. I love the idea. However, I don't want to pay for you.
Right.
Should your boss pay for it? Yeah, or a portion.
Mm-hmm.
Should you pay for it? Now, if they take my money and they say this is specifically yours, and they specifically state that it will get returned to me at the end of 365 days if not used, or roll over to the next year, great. Sure. Phenomenal.
Right.
That's my money that I'm saving is it's not an HSA, but it's the same concept. Like this is we're protecting money for you.
Right. Which, to me, part of me is like, fuck that. Like, don't touch my money, right?
Yeah.
Like it's up to me to save for that and also to plan for that. And also, like, why are you making this more difficult for the employers to employ Americans?
Right.
Right? Because now employers have to worry about this.
Yeah.
And now I feel like this is also could lead, not to any particular company, but I think this creates an environment where companies might not even want to like hire people that are expecting to have a serious illness or surgery or whatever, which could lead to discrimination,
Yeah.
So I that's where I see some of the flaws there. But the other thing too, I think is, I look back in history, right? I look back at like the Rockefellers and like Upton Sinclair's book, Into the Jungle, and these like deplorable, like horrible, like living conditions for like humans and children and the working conditions for children. And it was like, there was this, some of the ethics, and I think some of the ethics that were used by these big, oil barons and stuff was, well, if people don't like the way I treat them at my company, they don't have to work there.
They don't have to work here.
Right? And so, like, that's a very, like, capitalism, I feel, very capitalistic, like, view on things, right? Because then what happens is that all the employers are just not going to offer it.
Right.
And then somebody who does fucking need it and isn't going to find that protection somewhere else, right? They have to have the government to step in and to mandate it for them to have that protection.
Right.
But the problem is they're applying it to everybody across they're like salami slicing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that's the way to make this work effectively. I think that, if a company is, acting immoral or if they're being unethical, then then maybe the government should be able to step in and enforce whatever way necessary without having to apply this like one shoe size fits all fucking boot to everybody. Cause it's, and it's just, it's not going to be like, I understand why it's there. I get the theory behind it, but ultimately I guess the libertarian side of me is just like, if I don't want that, so I'm not going to work for a company that's going to require that.
Mm-hmm. Except that in Colorado, it's all the companies. Everyone.
Right.
Except for state government. State government can opt, or does not even, they can opt out of it. So if you're a state of Colorado employee, you don't get this. Now they might have their own, their own thing, but
right. That one's me.
God, we're doing a show here.
I know.
Jeez, so rude.
Man, that phone, I can just never seem to unplug from it. Oh, yeah. So I don't know, and what's interesting to me about all this though is like look at FMLA, right? Now FMLA,
Protect your job.
right? But not all corporations or companies fall under FMLA, right? Which is more of a federal thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there is state iterations of it, right, that you can pay into. But like, why are we making another program to cover similar things, if not the same thing, that like, the federal government should be covering? And just like you said, like, who is the state to fucking tell me I have to pay any more into any more I don't even necessarily like?
Right.
What happened to states versus federal rights?
Right.
Because the supreme law of the land...
There was a war about this, if you remember.
Right. Right. And some other things.
Yeah, some other things.
But right, yeah, that was a big part of it, right? I mean, because like what options do we have if we don't like this? We can't just succeed from the state of Colorado. Maybe from the county. I think Weld's trying to do that, or
I think that kind of died.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, I think they still want to, but I think it's not gonna happen.
Okay.
I doubt it.
Explain this. Talk to me about this a little bit. I think it's interesting.
It is interesting. Weld County, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember when it started because I think it's been brought up many times, but most recently, was it 16 or was it? I think it was 16.
Okay, that seems
ish.
Yeah, 15, 16, 16. Yeah.
Started a petition to secede from the state of Colorado and annex themselves into the state of Wyoming, and I thought it was funny because Colorado's just like, no,
yeah,
and Wyoming's like, come on over.
Right.
I don't know.
If you had your arm guard, that wouldn't have happened. I can't believe that happened.
That was wild. Can we pause this?
I might take a quick.
Can we pause? Can we actually pause?